Hello everyone, welcome to the driver's room. This is the Endurance Championship. We're in Season 4 now, Round 5, and this is Tier 2, and we're at the Nürburgring GP. Slightly different grid walk today. We've opted for a rolling start. As we're at the Nürburg, we're in the Group 1s, and Turn 1 can be a little bit of chaos. We're having a rolling start today. But on pole position we have Chris. He's starting on the racing softs. He's on 85 points in the championship so far. He's a championship leader, having won the first 2 rounds. In second place we have Smith, also starting on the racing softs. He's on 40 points in the championship so far. Picked up a second place in round 4. In third place myself, DJ Rice, also starting on the racing softs. 34 points in the championship so far, having missed the last round. In fourth place we have Alex, only man starting on the super softs today. He's on 26 points in the championship so far. He missed the first and fourth rounds, so 2 rounds completed, 26 points. In fifth place we have Daz on 58 points. Best position was a second place in round 1, some very strong results after that, so a good haul of points so far in the championship. In sixth place we have Kimaru, starting on the racing softs. 50 points in the championship so far, going well. Managed a third place in round 2, I think it's been his best result so far. In 7th place we have Sivarks, starting on the racing softs, only 15 points. He's only competed in 1 round of the championship so far, but still managed to pick up 15 points with a 4th place in round 2, I believe. In 8th place we have AGT Grimlock, starting on the racing softs, 26 points in the championship so far, raced in 3 of the 4 rounds. In 9th place we have Jason, also starting on the racing softs. 19 points in the championship so far. He missed the last round, so also only raced in 3 of the 4 rounds of the season so far. In 10th place we have Canny, also starting on the racing softs. 18 points in the championship so far. Missed the first 2 rounds of the championship, so still not a bad points haul. And in 11th we have Berkey, starting with racing mediums on the front and racing softs on the back, so mixing up the tyre choice a little bit. Sitting on 19 points in the championship so far, also only raced in 2 of the rounds. He missed rounds 2 and 3, so 19 points in 2 races, not bad at all. But yeah, there's the grid. Get ready to go. So here we are then, we're about to get underway at the Nürburgring GP. Rolling start, so we're not up to speed yet. Coming down the straights, keeping an eye on that throttle marker there. And that's it, there you go. So Chris in the lead, Smith in second. Coming down to turn 1, the first hairpin. So everyone's been pretty sensible. Pretty much all positions being retained there. It's all looking neat and tidy at the moment. That rolling start might have made a little difference. We've got Alex on the super softs looking to make ground straight away, and myself putting Smith, as Smith runs wide I take second place. See what Alex can do behind, there's a little bit of contact. As I say, Alex, the only man starting on the super softs, so really wants to make progress quickly and early on in this race. So he put Smith under a little bit of pressure after that early mistake. So Everyone makes their way through the Shoemaker S. See if Alex is in the slipstream here. No. Smith retains third. Got Kimaru putting Daz under a little bit of pressure. The hybrid systems on these cars are a little bit different. We'll keep an eye on the charging. So it can make a hell of a lot of difference down the straight. So everyone makes it through the last hairpin. Civarks in 8th, looks like. Kenny in 10th, Burke in 11th. Pretty much how the grid was at the start. So we go back to Chris now. Trying to starting to pull a little bit of a gap to myself in second place. Smith still holding on to third. Alex sticking to that slipstream. They come up to the Dunlop hairpin. So Smith's pulled away a little bit, giving himself a little bit of breathing room, as has Daz to Kimmy. Pulled a little bit of a gap there, take the pressure off. Got Grimlock down in 7th, Civark's not far behind in 8th, with Jason close behind in 9th. Kenny in 10th. Looks like Berkey's dropped back a little bit in 11th. Rejoin the leader Chris in first as it comes around the final turn onto the main straight. Looks like I've picked up a little bit of ground on him. First, second, third and fourth, very, very close down the main straight after 2 laps. Top 4 all making their way through the Mercedes arena. Daz and Kimmy 5th and 6th, Grimlock in 7th, Civark's 8th, Jason 9th, Kenny 10th, Berkey 11th. Into the Dunlop hairpin again as Chris leading the way in the Porsche through the Schumacher S, nice and tidy. Myself just about staying in contention with him at the moment. So it did look like Chris ran a little bit wide there. I think he did, so I've closed that gap again a little bit. Pulled a tiny gap to Smith now. Looks like Alex has picked up a penalty somewhere. To go through the very tricky hairpin. Very tricky chicane, shall I say, not hairpin. So he comes through the last corner to the main straight. Does he get a good run? Looks like he's got a reasonable exit out of that corner. He's picked up a little bit of slipstream, but I don't think he's close enough to Smith to make a move into turn 1. It looks like Berkey's moved up to 10th. Looks like Kenny's had a bit of a moment. We'll have a little look back there. So we rejoin the action with Kenny in 10th. Very, very close to Jason at the moment. So coming down to the NGK chicane. Very, very difficult chicane to navigate quickly. See what happens there. He's yeah, nice and tidy through there. So the fire just goes wide on the final bend and loses the back end. That promotes Berkey up into 10th. See if Kenny can recover from this. Back with his top 4 again now, as Chris still leading the way out in first, and 142.5 last time around as he comes round the final bend onto the main straight. Tyre wear still not really an issue at the moment. 142.2 for Chris, 42.6 for myself, 42.5 for Smith, and 42.3 from Alex. Very close to Smith again. So Smith goes a little bit wide there. Alex all over him at the moment. Goes a little bit wide himself. He really could have done with clearing Smith and myself. Very capable of getting himself out the first, but not enough of a difference between the tyre types to get the moves done, unfortunately. He's stuck here in 4th place on the super softs. Smith doing a great job holding him off at the moment under all sorts of pressure. We've got Grimlock in 7th, Civics in 8th. He's looking quite close now as they come down to the chicane. A little bit later on the brakes as well. Will he get a good exit? Looks like Grim's had a good exit as well. Now if he can get on his slipstream down this main straight, he looks close enough, and we'll jump on board. He pulls out of the slipstream, but yeah, he's got a lot of overspeed. Anyway, I think he's got the move done. I think he may have got this move done. Keeps it nice and tidy. As just see Grim flash past the mirrors there. New onboard shots thanks to the update. But Grim's got back ahead. Great stuff from Grim. Let's go back out and have a look. So Civic's got the move done into turn 1 and through the Mercedes arena, and Grim's storming away now. Great racing from the pair of them. Just coming up to the 10-minute mark now of this hour-long endurance race. Jason's in the 145s. Quite a bit of rear tyre wear there. It's going to obviously get more and more difficult to put the power down coming out of corners. It goes a little bit wide through the Schumacher S. Berkey in 10th still. Big gap to Canny now. Look at the 145s at the moment. Can rejoin the leader. Coming down into turn 1. Still solidly in the 142s. The lap time's creeping up a little bit now though. As with myself, as the director jumps on board for some unknown reason. Got awesome Alex down in 3rd. Oh, he's got the job done on Smith somewhere. We'll have to have a look back at that. So yeah, at the end of lap 6, Alex on the main straight. See if he gets the job done into turn 1. Does he? No, he's miles away at the moment. So does Smith make a little mistake somewhere? Goes a little bit wide there, but nothing too serious. So he's lost a lot of speed. Just understeered completely off the track through the Mercedes arena. Awesome Alex up in the 3rd. It's a good job. See what we can do in a little bit of clean air. Our tyres obviously not at their best. Up into a podium position. Chris and myself. A little bit of old Alex picked up another penalty. He's got some clear air, but looks like he's been a little bit untidy. This could bring Smith back into play. We'll get on the back of him. They come down the NGK chicane, and Alex not as clean as he'd like, and he's on the grass on the way out. So dirty tyres are going to cost him around this bend as well. But, you know, he's planted it. He's done well. I think he's done just enough to on board with Smith. Yeah, he's pulled enough of a gap to Smith there to very, very late on the brakes from Smith. Just about avoid a bit of contact there. So have a look down the grid. Got Daz still in 5th, Kimmy a lot closer in 6th now, Grim in 7th, Civics in 8th, Jason in 9th. They go into turn 1. Berkey a lot closer to Jason now in 10th. Jason's getting all sorts of sideways coming through the Mercedes arena, and he's ghosted out. Thankfully, Berkey gets past up into 9th now. Very, very consistent lap times from Berkey. He's got himself up into 9th. Jason looks to make a fight back now. Must be kicking himself. Kenny in 11th, struggling to get into the 145, still a little bit untidy. Chris in 1st, he's coming through the chicane. Myself in 2nd, picked up a penalty somewhere as well. That's obviously going to cost me 3 points or 2 points in the Endurance Championship for the clean race bonus. Alex in 3rd, Smith still close in 4th. See how Kimaru's getting on with Daz. He's closed that gap a little bit. Yeah, very, very close now. Kimmy's not far from that slipstream. Tyre wear's becoming a bit critical for a few people. Obviously front you're going to get a lot more understeer. It costs you massively if it catches you out. Dad's just hugging the curb there, gets the power down. Kimaru's still in close contention. Grim in 7th, tyre wear not too bad. Just dipping into the 147s. Burke has picked up a penalty somewhere. Jason down in 10th, Kenny in 11th. Looks like Chris is entering the pits. So the first man to pit on the 15-minute mark. So still good for fuel. Who's obviously unhappy with the tyre wear. Promotes myself into 1st, Alex into 2nd. Smith 3rd, Daz 4th, Kimmy 5th. Got Grim coming through the chicane now. Oh, he's lost it on the way out. Oh, that's a nightmare. That's Civox up in the 7th though. Imagine Chris is back out of the pits now, so Chris rejoins the race in 6th. He's gone for the racing mediums. It looks like they've immediately caught him out around in the Mercedes arena as he's understeered off a little bit. He gets back on it now though. So Kimmy still trying to close the gap on Daz. He's a little bit closer again, I think. Obviously he's got Chris who's just come out of the pits behind him on fresh rubber. See what sort of lap times Chris can do on the racing mediums. He can keep it tidy through here. It looks like Daz has had a good run as well, so he's not going to be able to make a move into this corner. Daz has run a little bit wide. I think Kimmy's going to get him down into the chicane now. Yeah, he's already poised. got a massively better run coming out. As long as he can keep it nice and tidy through this chicane. He's got 4th place. We've got Chris catching these two now as well. Obviously they've been fighting a little bit, so that's going to cost them. Oh, Daz has got, oh my gosh, Daz has absolutely lost it into the turn 1. We'll have a little look back on that. I think he's probably touched the wheel on the dirt on the way in. We go on board with Daz down the main straight, so he's picking up the slipstream. Does he? Yeah, oh, just a couple of wheels on the dirt in the heavy braking zone. Thankfully, he goes out. That's a shame. It's down to 6 now. Promotes Chris up to 5th though. That's a free overtake with no battling, so switching up his strategy a little bit. Needs to get some consistent times in as he comes up to the back of Kim. See if Kim really can fight him off with these extremely used racing softs. It looks like Chris has got the job done already. They're on completely different strategies, so maybe not worth fighting anyway, because Kimmy's got to look after his tyres and see what he can do. So that's Chris up into 4th. Take a look where Smith is at the moment in 3rd. It's just coming through. Turn 12 down to the chicane. And that's Chris just hitting turn 12. No, not far from 3rd place. Looks like Alex is pitting from Super Softs. So that will promote. No, Smith has also pitted. That is Chris straight back up to 2nd place. So this strategy's looking good so far. He's got some clean air, you can just put some lap times in it. It's like 1:43. It's not showing that lap time. But even so, 1:43 the last lap on the mediums is pretty decent. Got myself running on 3 used softs in the 1:44s now. So losing time and picking up penalties. Probably from understeering straight off the track. I imagine I'm going to pit at the end of this lap. So right on the 20-minute mark. Chris really putting the hammer down now. Most likely reclaim the lead. Kimmy in 3rd, also pitting soon, probably at the end of this lap. He's had a good first stint. Just coming through the final chicane, yeah, entering the pits now, so this will most likely put Chris back up into 1st place. He's just coming through the last chicane now. Kimmy close behind. We'll see if Kimmy pits. I'd imagine he will. Yep, looked like a late decision. So yeah, that's Chris back up into 1st place. Alex having pitted early. See if he gets the undercut done on myself. Don't think he has. As I've rejoined the race in 2nd place. Thankfully. See where Kimmy feeds out to. That's Smith back up in the 4th, so that's the first 4 positions pretty much retained how they were. Bar Alex overtaking Smith, dropping back early in the race. So Kimmy rejoins in 5th. Sivark's in 6th. I don't think Sivarks has actually pitted, and if he hasn't, that's amazing tyre wear so far. As Berkey, very similar, although he's hurt his fronts a little bit more with a harder compound, probably because you have to turn in a little bit more, but whatever, he goes a little bit wide there. Yeah, it's very good tyre wear. Got Daz in 8th, Jason and Grim also in the pits as Grim rejoins the race in 9th, ahead of Canny, who has also pitted as well because that's some fresh rubber. We've got Jason rejoins the race in 10th after his pit. So that's the first round of pit stops done. Let's go down the grid now. We've got Smith in 4th still, having set the, yeah. Okay, so he's just nicked the fastest lap of the race. 1:41.1. We've got Kimmy in 5th, Sivarks in 6th, Berkey 7th, we've got Daz in 8th, very close to Berkey. I think he's going to get this move done. As Berkey defends, Daz moves to the other side, goes to the outside of turn 1. It's going to be difficult to pass. Oh, looks like he's got a length in front nearly. It's a side by side. Daz has got the inside for the next corner. I think he's going to get this done. He's up in the 7th, good move. Berkey's still not pitted, so he's on the worn tyres. Not much he can do to fight that one off. Down to 8th, I imagine he'll be pitting soon. We've got Grim on the softs, setting his personal best. 1:44.9. 1:43 being the lap just coming out of the pits. So Jason down in 10th, also setting his personal best. So obviously I don't think many people have put fuel in for that first stint of pits. Yeah, interesting. So everyone's with lighter cars, and yeah, everyone's setting personal best pretty much at the moment, apart from Chris, who's gone for the racing mediums and is, I say, completely switched up his strategy. But it looks like I'm gaining a little bit, so still setting my own personal best and picking up penalties. Looks like Sivarks has finally pitted from 6th place. That promotes Daz back up to 6th. He can put the try and get a chase on with Kimaru again. That's Berkey up in the 7th, still not pitting. He's going for a very long stint, nearly at the half-hour mark. Don't think I've seen many people one-stop a DREC race this season. This could be the first attempt at it. Oh, it's very close on the way out. Look at that. Grim taking 8th place just about. Looks like Jason's putting a bit of pressure on Sivarks as well. Sivarks gone for the mediums and Jason on the super soft, so see if he can get the move done, because there's a little bit of speed difference between the super softs and the racing mediums, that's for sure. Stay with Jason, he's got very close, is nearly touching there. Sivarks defends into the Dunlop hairpin. Jason can't hold it on the outside through there. Pardon me. Still close coming through the Schumacher S. Jason looking for a good exit here, I'd imagine, to get the move done to the Kumo curve. As he's up the inside of him, Sivarks holding the inside for the next corner. I think his tyres are up to temperature now, so even though he's on the racing mediums, you can still defend well. Sivarks on the defensive into the chicane. Great driving. And yeah, Sivarks has held off that that fight, but that's brought Canny right back into play. Canny, having pitted, come back out on this fresh racing soft, seems to have found his pace again. Steady 144s and 45s. So right back in the mix with this. What's turned into a 4-man battle for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. We've still got Jason with still got Jason putting the pressure on. No, he's lost a bit of pace there. Canny's now putting the pressure on him. Don't quite get up the inside. Jason goes wide again. He's going to lose a lot of momentum. See if anyone's going to make a move. Both of them make a move into the Dunlop hairpin. He might have took a bit of contact on the way through, but wow, yeah, there's two cars coming past at full speed as we join Berkey coming through the Schumacher S. Right on the Tower Canny. Yeah, nice, and Canny goes a little bit wide. Sivak's not far up the road, or it looks like Berkey's got a good run. So go through turn 12 down to the NGK chicane, and Berkey's got the job done. So yeah, so we've got Sivak's in 8th, Berkey in 9th. Finally on some fresh rubber. He's come back out on the soft, so I'd imagine he'll have to stop again. Don't think anyone's going to make the softs last half an hour. That's great stuff. And just as I'm about to cut away, Berkey moves up to 8th. He gets the job done on Sivak's as well. So having to spend all that time on that used rubber, he's loving these fresh racing softs, and he's storming away. So Sivak's still on the racing mediums, and obviously strategy mixing up with this group at the back as well. So it all pans out. Jason's obviously dropped back after his little bit of an off. And while all that action at the back was happening, we missed a little bit of action at the front. We've got Chris coming through, and obviously on these racing mediums, still not showing a lot of wear, but in the high 142s, myself on the racing softs, very, very low 141s, so it's over a second quicker a lap at the moment, and closed the gap right up on Chris. Still got Alex in 3rd in low 142s, Smith low 142, mid 142 his last lap. So yeah, everyone's going a little bit quicker than Chris at the moment. The racing mediums obviously got great wear, but haven't really got the pace. As just picking up the slipstream with Chris now coming through the Schumacher S. Obviously when you got first place in your sights, you tend to focus a little bit better. Let's come through the through that corner with a good run right on the gearbox of Chris now. Chris goes defensive into the chicane. Not going to make a move there. Let's get a good exit out of the chicane, try to get the move done into turn 1 more than likely. So yeah, right on his gearbox again. So we go on board. It's a fantastic view. So haven't really, didn't really pick up much of a slipstream. We go right down the gears. Both of us very tidy through there. As come through the Mercedes arena. As Chris goes a little bit wide. Let's go back up. Take a look from the outside shots. As yeah, still on his right on his slipstream, but just can't get the move done. Let's keep the pressure on. Coming down to the Dunlop hairpin. Not really close enough to underbrake him. I'll probably have to follow him through the Schumacher S as well. He's not going to overtake through here. But that's a good run. Inches away, looks like a move. Take the inside. Chris outbrakes himself a little bit. He's gone wide, and that's myself up in the first place. Just about as I go a little bit wide myself there. So Chris is gonna pick up my slipstream. So coming to the chicane, I'll just about stay ahead. Try and get a good exit now and just try and keep hold of first place. So it is myself up in the first place on lap 18. Chris now second place. He's going to have Alex on his case, although the super softs seem to be going off a little bit. Smith in fourth place, 1:44 on his last lap. Kimmerer in fifth. So 1:43.8, good lap, last lap. 1:42's from Daz. So yep, he's getting the job done. He's got Grim in seventh. 1:45 his last lap, not the best, but still in a bit of clean air. So we've got Berkey in eighth now. 1:43 in his last lap. Looks like Berkey's made a right mess of the last chicane there. That's going to promote Sivak's back up to the 8th. Canny to 9th. Don't think Jason's going to catch him. That's a shame as well, because he really made some places up and made some time up after his first pit. So this little group of 4 are all changing places again. Berkey's had another off. Just coming out of turn 1, is that? Pardon me. We've got Jason down on 11th, back in contention now. Although his super softs seem to be going off quite a bit again, especially at the rears. So rejoin myself in the lead. Trying to pull away from Chris now, and not pulling a bigger gap as I would like at this moment. Got Chris back into the 1:42s. Alex gained half a second on the last lap. Smith dropped a little bit in fourth now. Fair bit of fair few seconds between fourth and third. Just going through Kumo curve, a bit curve. We've got Smith just coming up to Kumo curve at the moment. So yeah, fair gap there now. Kimmerer down in fifth. On the straight before Kumo. Daz in 6th. Just coming through the Dunlop hairpin. Grim in 7th. So 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th all in acres of space. And we've got 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th. Very, very close contention. First to third still very close as well. As we have a look at the leaders now. Just over the halfway mark of this hour endurance. take a run through the grid. Looks like Berkey's caught. No, he's stayed with Canny. So they come down to the chicane. Oh, it looks like Berkey's outbroke himself a little bit, punted Canny straight off, and Jason just comes off all by himself. Might have been put off by the crash up ahead. Canny absolutely planted into the barriers. Berkey hanging about, fair play. Oh, that's an absolute shame. As Canny resets to the track. And Berkey gets underway again. Jason's off again. Plenty of action happening at the back of the grid. So Canny goes off again. He'll probably dive into the pits now for new rubber. We've got all the... Oh, he can't even make it. The wall's too far. Pit entry's too far back. Yeah, these leaders are... Sorry, looks like the leaders have come through this... through that little bit of chaos as well. Oh yeah, first, second, third still very, very close. Smith down in fourth. Going a little bit leery there. He's back on it now. Kimaru down in fifth. Very consistent lap times, as you can see there. 143s. Just getting into the 144s now as the tyre wear's kicking in. Dad's the same, but about a second quicker. So yeah, 142s and 143s for Daz. 143 flat on his last lap, and his tyre wear's looking pretty good as well. But obviously his next round of pits, everyone's going to have to fuel. We've got Daz at a quarter of a tank. Kimmy's a little bit better for fuel, a little bit worse for tyres. Grimm's must have fueled in one of his pits, so that's gonna obviously gain him quite a few seconds. Got a long way to go to catch up with Daz though. Sivark's in 8th, pulled a little bit of a gap to the chaos behind. Jason in 9th, very, very low on fuel as well. Got like an 1/8 of a tank. There's Berkey in 10th, just under half a tank. And Canny in 11th. He's got Kimaru coming up to lap him. Very unfortunate race for himself. We've got Chris in second, still very, very close to myself in first, both in the 143s. The racing medium's starting to show a little bit of wear, but obviously a little bit of wear in racing mediums is, well, it's the reason not a lot of people use them, because you can lose a lot of time if you're a driver like me and you're very inconsistent through corners. Yeah, it can cost you an absolute bundle. It's just coming up to the 40-minute mark. So just about on course for a pit stop. Yep, and that's myself in the pits and Chris up in the first place. See what he needs. We'll see what he can do now, as he's got to put some good laps in. He could probably prolong. It looks like Alex is in the pits behind me as well, both exact same fuel. I think Chris will try and prolong this and maybe go for the super softs for the last stint, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how Smith's going into the pits as well, so that will promote that'll promote Kimaru up into 4th place, I'd imagine. As I come back out onto the track in 2nd. Is Alex in 3rd? Yeah, Alex is in 3rd. He's just going into turn 1. Kimi's just braking in the braking zone in turn 1. 4th place, but he'll be pitting soon. See what Daz can do now, as that sounds like Smith just coming out of the pits. So oh, Smith got the job done. Sorry, has Daz got the job done on Smith? I think he has. So he does need to pit again, but yeah, it's good stuff from Daz. It's half a tank of fuel goes in for Smith, so he's good to the end of the race, and he goes on to the softs. They're good for 20 minutes. As he puts the pressure straight on Daz, he's going to want to get past as soon as possible. Grim staying out for another lap. Sivark's on the mediums. He'll be good to the end of the race with over half a tank of fuel. Berkey in 9th, just getting lapped by myself. Jason down in 10th, and it looks like Kenny has left the building. Yeah. Disappointing race for Kenny. Yeah, these things happen, unfortunately. So Chris in 1st place, trying to put the hammer down as best he can with these racing mediums, but he's got a 1:45 on the last lap, and obviously a little bit down on this in the 1st sector of this lap. We've got myself, who's out the pits now and in clear air. This could be pretty crucial. Alex on the super softs, he's lost it. That's a 360. Thought he was going to hold it. That's a shame. Racing super softs, looking to put some lap times in, and that is not what you need. Retains his 3rd place, though, because he did have a fair gap to Smith, but Smith not very far behind now. Probably a couple of seconds in it. We've got Kimi in 5th after pitting fresh rubber. He's good to the end of the race now. Don't think he's going to be able to do much about Smith in 4th place, but he's got Daz on the super softs behind now. That's quite a big gap between these two as well, but we'll see how that all pans out. Grim in 7th. He's going to have to pit again. Them tyres are looking pretty bad. Probably trying to stretch it to the super softs as well, maybe. Sivark's in 8th. Berkey in 9th. Jason in 10th. So that's Chris in the pits, and he's going to have to fuel at least half a tank, which is going to cost a little bit of time. So coming through the chicane now. The Coca-Cola curve onto the main straight. Yeah, looks like I've got the job done on Chris. Chris still in the pits, still fueling. So this could put Alex up into 2nd place as well, even after that spin. Wow, so that's Alex up in the 2nd place. So that stint on the racing mediums has really cost Chris. So he's out on the super soft now for the last 15 minutes of the race. He is going to be quick, but yeah, presuming Alex is okay for fuel, he is good with his tyres, but yeah, still got 14 minutes to go on slightly warm super soft. So I think Chris is going to really want to yeah, get the job done here. And just coming through the last chicane, Smith's had a little bit of an off. And oh, that did he mean to pit then? He may well just be coming in for a fastest lap attempt. Chris was well up the road, but is he safe from Kimi, who is good to the end of the race? So see what happens here. It'll be a very, very quick pit stop for Smith, but I think Kimi's up into 4th, and Smith's coming out of the pits, and Daz gets the job done. He's up into 5th. Oh, he just overcooks it, goes a little bit wide into turn 1. Oh, and he's just nearly had it. Smith on the super softs now. I think he has just come out for a fastest lap attempt, but he has lost the place to Kimi, who's a fair bit up the road now. Just 9 minutes left now this race. See what he can do. We rejoin Chris, still putting the pressure on Alex. So they come through the chicane. Alex picks up a penalty somewhere. Just come through the last corner onto the main straight. Chris is right in his slipstream. Will go on board. Alex thinks about going defensive, but doesn't in the end. Chris puts it up the inside. Got the job done there, just having a look in the mirror. And he's got the job done, just comes through the Mercedes arena nice and tidy. Yeah, it's a good move by Chris. I don't think Alex could have really done much. Could have gone a little bit more defensive, but as I say, is he saving fuel now? Got 7 minutes left of this race. He's under a quarter of a tank. So maybe in a leaner fuel mix. And yeah, them tyres are starting to show a little bit of wear and tear as well. So yeah, we've got to have a quick run through. Myself in 1st place. Chris up into 2nd now, racing super softs, and will be absolutely on it. Got Alex down in the 3rd with tight fuel. Kimi in 4th, good to the end of the race. Got to look after his tyres a bit towards the end. Got Smith in 5th. So stay with him for a second, see if he goes purple anywhere. Very light car, fresh, so he set his best, but not the best. 1st sector, 2nd sector even. But obviously, if it's his best, it's still going to be a very, very quick lap time. So he's half a second up on his best. So yeah, he will be catching Kim at a fast rate of knots. So nice and tidy through the last bend there. We get a bit of, wow, that's half a second quicker than the fastest lap. So yeah, 1 minute 40.5. That's the fastest lap of the race, and at this stage of the race, I think that will probably take the point for it. Kimi's got an absolute handful now for the remaining 5 minutes. Probably 2-3 laps, 3 laps comfortably, should I say? And he's got an extremely as Kimi pulls out his personal best 1st sector. So he has responded. Let's keep an eye on this for a minute. So I can't see. Kimi is going to have to drive extremely well to fend this off. Keeps it tidy through here. Smith drops back a little bit to get a good run. So Kimmy's still up on his personal best, but he's done enough to avoid a move into the chicane. So Kimmy gets a very good exit from the chicane as well, but coming through the last bend. Smith very, very close now. We go on board. Wait for that slipstream to kick in, but doesn't seem to have done the job. Kimmy's good on the brakes, but unlucky. He was very good on the brakes in the turn one, he just couldn't make the front end stick. And yeah, that puts Smith up in the 4th place. So Alex is miles up the road from him now though, so yeah, he's made the pit stop, he's come out, he has got fastest lap and he has retained his 4th place, so good job by Smith there. Sivarks in 7th with Grimm very, very close behind in 8th now. As yeah, Sivarks been on that long stint with the racing mediums and getting a little bit worn, so looks like Grimm could get the move done. They come into the Mercedes arena on the 33rd lap of this hour-long race. Grimm's very, very close to him now. So it sounds like Sivarks went a little bit wide there. Saying racing mediums are not going to want to do what you want them to do. So it looks like Grimm's got the job done reasonably easily. Rejoin the leader. As we have a minute left. So that will be coming on to the final lap. As I've got a mirror full of Chris now on the main straight. I'm on very warm racing softs. Chris on slightly warm racing super softs. 43.7's my last 2 laps. 42.9, 42.3. So he's gained around just over 2 seconds in 2 laps. And yeah, this will definitely be the final lap. Very, very slow sector for myself. Very much known to bottle it quite often. A very, very quick driver behind me that's already dominating this season in the Endurance Championship. So come through the show, but fair gap. Fair gap should get this job done. Chris absolutely on it at the moment. Must be kicking himself about racing mediums. Pitting early, coming out on the racing mediums cost him quite a bit of time. As we come through the chicane for the final time. Past the hour mark, last bend. Keep it tidy. And there we have it. Myself in 1st place, Chris in a very, very close 2nd place. Alex in 3rd, last podium position, just about holding on with them tyres at the end there. Customary spin over the line. Smith pitting, coming out, setting a blistering lap, nicking the fast lap, and retaining his 4th place. So good a job as he could have done from 4th place. As it looks like Grimm's crossed the line in 7th for a lap down. Kimaru, comfortable 5th place. Looked like Daz might have put some pressure on, but he was just a little bit too far back. And that's Daz in 6th. Last position's Berkey 8th. Sivarks 9th. Jason 10th.